So 10 o'clock. Good morning to you all and good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. We have the follow-up session from the previous session about the file request, how to follow up on the request of your customer. When you need help with the process of the file request and it's about the product or why you should do this, ask your customer. And if you have problems with operating the system, please reach out to Product IP helpdesk at productip.com and we will help you how to operate the system. So now more information how to follow up, because we gave you a brief overview on all the steps, and now Ralph will lead you into detail how to create a technical file and follow up on this. Ralph, floor is yours.
Thank you. Also, welcome to the webinar from my side. I will share my screen. So here you can see the...
I also see it, Ralph, so continue.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, perfect. So here we have the customer account. And in this customer account, the customer has created a pre-draft technical file for a coffee maker with the market release date August 8, 2025. And you can see the status of the technical file is pre-draft. And with this symbol, when you go over the symbol, you can see file request pending. And now I'm moving to the supplier account. So now you can see the supplier account. And here you can see already 4 technical files he handled before. And the new request, you have to go to the request tab on the top. And in the tab technical file requests, you can see the file request from your customer. Your customer is demo product IP. The product is a coffee maker with the article number CM-0815_BL. And the market release date is chosen by your customer, August 8, 2025. Your customer also has chosen the regions he wants to sell the product. You want to sell in Austria, France, Germany, Italy, Netherlands, and Spain. And your next step is now to accept the technical file request with the green button. Are you sure you want to accept this request? Yes. So right now, this is the first request from your customer for this product. So you have no existing technical file on your hand. So you need to create a new technical file on your side. So here, article number, product name, market release date is chosen by your customer. And you can go to next. The countries is also chosen by your customers. You can just take it and go to the next step. Then, in this case, your customer already has chosen the product category for you. In some cases, your customer could also send a file request without product category. In this case, you need to choose the correct product category. And if you don't know or you cannot find the product category, you can choose professional, and our experts in the background, they will help you to find the correct product category, or if not existing, they will create it. But in this case, your customer has chosen coffee makers mains powered. Then we have a Q&A section to specify your product. It's also done by your customer already. So any licensed technologies, your customer said no. Do you want to add the requirements for some mains plug to the file? Your customer said no, because it will be part of the LVD report. So no need to have it additionally. But you can add yes, and you see the requirements for the plugs. Then our system will ask you, because it's a coffee maker with food contact material, our system will ask you what kind of material is in contact with the food. In this case, glass, metal alloys, metals, stainless steel, plastics, and silicones. Is the product tableware or kitchenware with polyamide or melamine from China or Hong Kong? No. Should information on SVHC present in the product be submitted to the SCIP database? Pending, we don't know yet. You as a manufacturer, I believe you will know if in your product are any SVHCs inside. So if you know there's a SVHC above 0.1% in your product, you can click yes. If you are sure there's no, then you can click no. If you don't know at the moment, choose pending. Do you want to add requirements for the packaging waste to the file? In this case, we said no. Do you want to add quality records? No. Chosen by your customer. Social audit, social compliance, your customer said no. Possibility would be, for example, Amphori BSCI example. But your customer didn't request it. So no GS, we can continue. So, and the file is do it yourself. In this case, the file request was not a prepaid file request. So in this case, you as a supplier need to pay for the credit for the technical file. If you don't accept the prepaid, if you don't accept the technical file and you need to pay it, you need to talk to your customer and ask them to send a prepaid file request. Now I go shortly back to the customer account and we refresh. So your customer, here's a coffee maker, your customer will see immediately if you have accepted the file request. This symbol means file request accepted. Okay, now we go back to supplier account. So you as a supplier, you have to fill the technical file with compliance evidence. And the first tab we have is the product tab. In the product tab, you can see the article number, you can see the coffee maker, the product name. You can add supplier article number if you want with the edit button here. You have here the product requirements information, the market release date chosen by your customer, August 8, 2025. So the regions you want to sell it. The product category, it's a coffee maker, household electrical appliances, coffee maker, and the Q&A can also have a look again to the Q&A. All these points are important to show you the requirement list for your product. In order to let your customer see in real time the progress of the technical file, you can go after creating the technical file, you go immediately to requests. And you go to the technical file you have just created, and you can share back to your customer. So this is your customer, and you can say view and clone and go next. Then your customer can see in real time the progress of your technical file. And in case you have questions for requirements, he also sees the requirements, and you can ask your customer if certain requirements are mandatory or you can solve in a different way. Okay, So now we are in the overview of the technical files, and we go again into the technical file of the coffee maker. So product tab, I just explained. Then we have here a timeline tab. In the timeline, you can see later on every activity you are doing in the technical file. Uploading documents, linking to requirements, and so on. You can see every activity in your technical file. Then, let's say the core tab in the technical file is the requirements tab. In the requirements tab, you can see all legal requirements for your product, in this case, a coffee maker. So we have here one section for product traceability information like BOM, declaration of identity, picture of the product, and rating label. We have here a section for product design information like mechanical drawings, PCBs, CDFs. We have here a section for markings, labels, information, and EU declaration of conformity. This one is usually done by your customer. It's not done by you. Then a big section for electrical safety, LVD. Then EMF, EMC, so all well known for you as a supplier. Then, of course, it's a coffee maker with food contact material, and we have chosen, beside Europe, we have chosen also France, Netherlands, Germany, Italy, Spain, and so on. And sometimes in this column on the right side, you can see some certain requirements are only applicable for certain countries. Like this Bedarfsgegenstandsverordnung is applicable for Germany. Then one requirement is only applicable for Spain or for Austria. For Netherlands, also some requirements. And of course, for France, also some special requirements. Let's say national deviations, you can say like this one. And this one is all for food contact material. Still food contact material. Then we have rows, very clear. Then we have REACH, POP. This waste and waste of electrical equipment, usually it's done by your customer, it's not your part. Eco design, of course, is again your part, because here you need a test report for this requirement. And then this one is for France. It's also usually done by your customer. So each this column are the requirements. This column is a requirement risk category. So not every requirement has a same risk for the product. Let's say the bill of material has a lower risk for the product compliance compared to a LVD test report or EMC test report. Yeah. So you can see some requirements are B1, some are B2, B3. We have requirements for DOC. DOC means declaration of conformity. We have G. G is a guide. And we have A requirements. So electrical safety, LVD, is A. And A requirement is related to type testing, to the design of your product. So, and it's very obvious, A requirement, type testing requirement has a higher priority compared to BOM. Same for EMF, it's an A requirement. EMC is an A requirement. And again, A requirement is related to the design of the product, means type testing. Where B1 requirements, for example, let's go to ROSE. ROSE requirement is a B1 requirement. And the B1 requirement is related to the production of the product. So it means, for example, in the case of ROSE, Of course, you have a rows report for your product, very clear. But in the production, for any reason, you are using solder which is not RoHS compliant. Yeah, so the RoHS compliance is production related, and the A requirements are type testing related for design of the product. In the next column, you can see the expiry date. So right now, the technical file is just created and expiry date. When you see in this column, expiry date, I go through. So right now, there's no expiry date known. So if we already know now that some requirement will expire at a certain time, we will already inform you. Yeah. So if we know it, we will show it to you. So right now, there's no update known at the moment for this coffee maker. We have one column for required documents. So each requirement on the left side, you need to have a proof of evidence in a form of a document. So BOM, bill of material, the required document is a BOM. For electrical safety, the required document is an electrical safety test report. For EMC, the required document is a EMC test report. Then we have one more column, and the column it's called regions. So not every requirement is applicable for whole Europe. So some have national differences like France. So the info tree, it's regarding the marking of the product. It's a French requirement. It's not a European requirement. The CE marking, of course, is a European requirement. And European, all European requirements. And here we have requirements for Spain. It's about food contact material. For Austria, also food contact material, Netherlands, France, Italy. So for food, we have some national differences. Means you should be able to prove it. You can comply with the French requirements for food contact material in form of a test report. The risk, the requirement risk category, we have one tab. It's an overview, the risk profile tab. In this tab, you can see the progress of the technical file. Right now, every requirement is still in red, means not handled yet. So if you handle requirements, for case you fulfill requirements, then it will change to green, and the bar will also move from red to green, not 100%, but you need to fulfill all requirements. For example, A requirements, you can see we have unfulfilled 36 requirements. So right now, 100% are unfulfilled. So how to handle requirements? Of course, by documents. And we have one document tab. In the document tab, you can upload documents. I have prepared two documents. One is a LVD test report, and one is a RoHS breach SVHC and POP test report. Please be noted, you can upload PDFs, JPEGs, and no Word, no Excel files. So I will upload the documents. Okay, uploaded two documents, 100%. close, and you will see the documents in the document center. So here the rows reach SVHC POP test report, and here's the LVD test report. So uploaded by me. The document is not linked yet to a requirement. The status of the document is unchecked. So now we go to the first document, the test report for chemical. And we go to the metadata. So you can see here, test report is a very simple test report only for the showcase. So rows, reach, Annex 17, reach, SVHC, and POP. So model number is CoffeeMake CM-0815_BL, and the test item is Coffee Maker. So now for the metadata, we can define the document categories. So in this case, we key in rows, and it's a restricted hazardous substance rows test report. And it's a reach test report. And it's also a POP test report, POP test report. So to choose the document category, it's quite important, because when we later have electronic document scanner, it's called Matchit. So the Matchit function will scan the document and will compare it to the requirements. We come to this one later. For the metadata, you can add an issue date, you can add an expiry date. In this case, we don't have. And we save it. And now I run the document scanner, and we will see what the document scanner will find in the requirements. And you can see the article number in the technical file found in the document. Here is the article number, and it is found in the document. So I don't need to check the document by myself, because the scanner shows me the article number, it's in the document. And the scanner, the Matchit scanner also shows you he found the requirement rows found in document. And he also shows you reach SVHC, he found it in the document. One more, reach Annex 17, he also found it in the document, found in document. For POP, there's a requirement for PCP. The PCP requirement he did not found in the document. So I cannot, in this case, I cannot hook this requirement to fulfill. But the POP regulation 2019-1021, he found it. So I also can hook this one. He also found the rows directive, and the rows directive here, it's EU DOC relevant, but I don't want to have the CE declaration. I have a test report here, so I don't hook this requirement. And now I have the possibility to link the document to the chosen requirements directly. We do this one. And go back to documents and go to requirements. And we scroll down. So red means, the red requirements means unfulfilled. So the next one is rows. And you can see the rows requirement is marked as fulfilled, a green hook. And you can see for the requirement, a document is linked. And you also can open the document, and you can see the document, and you can download the document. and this requirement is fulfilled. Now, the document was also a reach test report, SVHC, and you can see the requirement is fulfilled because I hooked it in the matchip function. And the same document is linked to this requirement. The same for reach, Annex 17, and the same for POP regulation. Set to fulfilled and linked to a document. I want to show you the next document. So in the overview, you can see now the document is linked to requirements. The status is checked. And here you can see the document categories of this document. And here we have one more test report for LVD. I open it. And I show you a different way how to connect a document to requirements. So I have here a test report for the low voltage directive according to the standard EN 60335-1 2012 plus A11 plus A13 plus A1 plus A2, A14, A15, A16. And of course, part 2, EN 60335-2-15 2016 plus A11 plus A1 plus A2 plus A12. The model number is also correct, CM-0815 BL, and it's a coffee maker. So of course, you also can use metadata, specify the document as electrical safety test report. We can do this one. Electrical safety test report. And we say save. But in this case, I don't want to show you the matchit function. I want to show you how to connect documents to requirements manually. So you go to requirements and you hook all requirements. You know it is fulfilled with this report. So we have 2012, A1, A2, A11, A13, A14, A15, A16. AC 2014 was not mentioned in the report, so I would unhook it here. There's a new version of the 60335-1 standard, but it's not harmonized yet. Part 2, 2000-2-15, 2016, A1, A2, A11, A12. So all these requirements I want to link to one document. So now I go down and here we have a button link to documents. He will show you the requirements you have chosen. You need to confirm. And he will show you all documents available. So I want to connect it to the test report LVD. And I say save and fulfill. Add documents to the selected requirements. Save and fulfill. So we go down and you can see the requirements are fulfilled with a document. The requirements are fulfilled with a document. So now we have also requirements, this one, and this one. And this one, I don't have proof for this requirement. So I can mark these requirements. And I go down and I say excluded. Let's say not applicable, excluded. He will show you the requirements. You say yes, and you can add a comment and say will be applied when mandatory. Declare excluded. So the color of this requirement will change from unfulfilled to yellow, from red to yellow. And this symbol means there's a remark. So here the 2023 edition of 6335-1. It's not mandatory yet, so I add will be applied when mandatory. So I know in future when I go to the technical file why I set this requirement to exclude it. Always use a note. It makes it more easy in the future for you to understand why you set certain requirements to exclude it. I want to show you the risk profile again. You will see there was a change for the A requirements. For example, now 13 requirements are fulfilled. 3 requirements are set to exclude it, and 20 requirements are still unfulfilled. So 20 A requirements. So when we go back, A requirements, it's of course EMF, it's an A requirement, and EMC is A requirement, and all other requirements are B1, B2, B3, or requirements DOC. In the overview of the risk profile, you can see A, B1, B2, B3, C, D, and G. So you can see the risk of A. So if your customer will have a problem with an A requirement on the market, so for your customer, it could cause a recall and a fine. If your customer has a problem with a B1 requirement on the market, it could also cause a recall or a fine. B2, if your customer has a B2 issue with the product, usually authorities will issue a sales stop. And B3, it's a warning from the authorities. And of course, fines. Fines are always relevant. So in some cases, for some requirements, maybe you also need to contact your suppliers. Yeah, not everything is produced by yourself. For example, packaging. Yeah, packaging is not coming from your side, so you can ask your supplier for the packaging information documents, and this one can be done with the invite function. When you go to the invite, and you can say request documents, you fill out the email address of your supplier of the packaging, the first name, you can key in a message, and you can select documents. For example, yeah, bad example, I didn't choose the packaging, so it's not included. So you can ask for example, for the food contact material good manufacturing practice, you can ask your sub-supplier, because some components for food contact material will not come from your factory. It will come from your suppliers, and you can ask for this document from your supplier. And then you can send out the document request to your supplier. Within your technical file, you have also the issue tab. So with the issue tab, you can communicate with your customer directly. So you can assign the issue to your supplier. So this one is your supplier. You can say the severity is critical, and you can communicate with your customer here, and you can send the message. So use the issue tab for this function. And when your technical file is finished from your side, you need to inform your customer that the technical file is finished. you cannot do it with the share function anymore, because when you go to the request tab, the file request is already gone because you already share back to your customer. So you need to go to the technical file of the coffee maker, and you can use the issue function and add an issue, and you can tell your customer technical file is finished. He can do the final review, and if everything is okay, he can accept the technical file, clone it, and then the file request in this case would be finished. So this would be all from my side. Saskia, do you have any input I should show?
Well, one remark, because thank you so much for this clear explanation. One remark, the share function on, or the overview on, because you have shared it already, it's gone from your request. But on the top, there's also a share tab. There you can find the overview on the shared, and there you can find it if it's pending and accepted by your customer. So this could be also very helpful to have an overview on the status of your technical files.
Correct. I'm here at the share tabs, and in fact, for the coffee maker, you can reshare the technical file. And then
your customer will get an email.
Correct.
And has a reminder that it, and there you can find the status because it's still pending. That means this the customer has not accepted yet, and it's always a dynamic sharing. So if you change anything in the technical file and the file is still pending, everything you have changed or added to your technical file is instantly shown also on the side of your supplier. So that's beneficial. You can see both the same status until it's accepted. And if the file is accepted by your customer and you change anything, that change is not visible for your customer. That's the remark I want to add.
Okay.
There was a question, but somehow the Q&A, and maybe you see the Q&A still. There was a question from about they only provide wooden articles, but the question seems lost on my side. Maybe you still see it, and we can come back later on that question.
Yes, we are supplier that is mainly items are made from wood. Is it possible to request a simulation for wood items like table or chair? Because we are really concerned regarding EUDR new policy. So if you choose a product which is relevant for EUDR, we will show the requirements for EUDR. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It will be on the list. So, but good that we see this, and if we think we have more detailed information, we can always share it later with this. But the requirement list is always applicable to the product you choose. And in this case, we choose the most extended electrical article for coffee maker, because then you see all, but wood is not involved in a coffee maker. So that's why it's not there. But otherwise, if you choose a wooden product category, the EUDR will be pop up on your requirement list. You can find all the extra information there.
If it's applicable, correct.
Definitely. Yeah. Great. Noted. Okay. For now, no more questions at this point. Maybe they need some time to type or whatsoever. So we still have some time for the questions on this topic. So I will continue with the reorder.
Mhm.
Okay. So to follow up on the file request, once you have created your technical file and you have shared that, it's possible that you get a reorder and the supplier is asking you to share again a technical file for an order you already created a technical file for. There are three possibilities. Like here we have a file request on your technical file and you can please accept it. Then your supplier knows, okay, you will work on it. And there are three options. You can either create, and there are multiple options for, or you share a technical file. Reshare an existing technical file. You created already a technical file and you check your technical file in your account in all files, for instance, and you see the status is green. So you have a completed technical file. And the reorder expiry date has not expired yet. So this is a valid technical file. And if you know that it's the same production, there's nothing changed in the article, and this technical file is applicable for your new batch, it's an option that you reshare this technical file because it could be valid also for the next batch you produce. In that case, use the share button in the request because that's an important one. That makes the connection between the request and the technical file you are sharing. And then you can find your article, you select it, and then share the technical file again. Don't share it via the sharing tab in the technical file because then the connection gets lost on the side of your customer, and that can give a mess and I have no overview on what file is missing. So in case your technical file is still applicable and still valid for the next batch, and you can choose to reshare an existing technical file. Of course, the market release date will deviate from the request of your customer, and then add the comment when you share the technical file for information for your customer so they can accept it or not. And then they give them more information, and the supplier can, or your customer can, based on the information you give here, accept the technical file you share or not. It's also possible that the reorder expiry date has expired and your file shows green, but because it's completely valid for the market release date, but after that date, there has come new requirements applicable to your product, and now you have to review the technical file. Go to the requirement list in the technical file and see what has been expired and choose based on that what should be updated and if this is still applicable to your product, because maybe in this case, like here, the We symbol is expired, but your supplier, your customer is responsible for the creation of the packaging. So this is not your responsible. So the compliance of your product is still shown with the status, all the documents you have provided. So in that case, it could be that this still is valid and you can share it. Then please share it via the share button again, and then choose the file and not via the share in the technical file. And your customer can, based on that you explain why you're resharing this technical file again and why you think it's still valid for this batch, and your customer can accept it or not. It's also possible that the reorder expiry date is expired, and based on the information in the technical file, you can't reuse this technical file completely. What you can do then is create a clone of your existing technical file. It creates a copy of the existing technical file. And don't forget to change the market release date, because that will update your requirement list in the technical file. And you have to do it here. And then it will create a new technical file and will also copy all the documents and all the linked documents in your requirement list. And now you see only 5 documents has to be updated. So you review your technical file again, go to the requirement list, see what has been updated, the old standards, what was applicable in the existing technical file, which are not applicable anymore, are taken out of this requirement list, and the new applicable requirements will now shown in the requirement list of the new created technical file, and you only have to update what's applicable to this batch. So you can reuse some documents, and you can take them out which are expired and upload new documents, do new tests, and create a new technical file. And after that, you share it via the share button on the request page again. Not on the shared button in the technical file, because the connection will be lost for the pre-draft and your supplier will have no overview anymore. If you have reviewed your technical file and you find out this is too outdated, or you have changed something in the process of your product, there are new materials applicable, maybe you produce it on a different factory, any update on the product, so the existing technical file for the product is not valid for this new batch, you have to create a new technical file, and then you can create it via the create button, of course, how you do it normally. So that's it for if you create the technical file and pay for the file yourself. When you have a prepaid file request, the icon is there, so that's your indication that your customer has paid for the creation of your technical file. Then you can still accept this file request, of course, and then either you share an existing technical file, and then based on the information is the same, like I explained for the technical file you create yourself. But if it's outdated, then you can only click on create, and then you create your technical file, and then the file will be empty, of course, because you could start from scratch. You have to upload all the documents again, and you have to link the documents again to the technical file. You can't clone at that point your technical file, because then you have to pay the cost of creating your technical file. And if you want to use the advantage that your customer has paid the cost of creating your technical file, you have to do the job again for uploading the documents and link the documents again, and then share the file via the button or in the technical file. Here it is, because you have created the file from this button, then you can use the tab share, but otherwise share it's via the button. What will your customer see? Like Ralph already explained, if you want to discuss something from your customer and you need his opinion, they don't have in their pre-draft requirement list. They have no knowledge on their part from the chosen requirements you have made, etc. So then you share your technical file, and this is what your supplier sees. So this is his view on the product tab, only information about the requirements, the information from the product itself. So if you add your supplier here, it's not visible for your for your customer. On the document tab, he will see the documents you have shared. And on the requirement tab, he will have the same view you have once you have created your technical file. The requirement list is a copy from both sides. It's the same on both sides. So if you have a question about a requirement and you want to discuss this with your supplier, share the technical file so your customer can see this, and he can add an issue, add his remark here. This will be an email to you, and you can find that issue, of course, on your side in the technical file. And so you can cooperate together on creating a sufficient technical file, which your supplier can accept after you shared that one. Are there any questions so far before we sum up?
No further questions in the Q&A.
Okay, so when you need help, a question related to the product or why you should do this, or if you think like another question, you don't want to share documents because that is information you want to keep to yourself, discuss this with your customer. They are the one who who did accept the file, yes or no, and discuss this. If you have problems operating the system, where to click, or you need more explanation how to operate the system, then reach out via helpdesk@productip.com. Also check the help on this page button. We are working hard to get every information there. And on Productipedia, of course, you can find a lot of extra information like videos and resources, tutorials, etc. Creating a technical file, you can see it in Start Working with Product Compliance, how to start, and receiving a technical file request from your customer. There you can find the instructions. When you create a technical file, you can skip the first part, of course, because the file is roughly already created via the pre-draft, of course. And then you go to the requirement list and upload the documents, link the documents like Ralph already explained today. Use Magit for the comparison between the information in your document and what's on the requirement list. Tick every requirement to fulfilled or set it to excluded, so you have an overview on what's open, and then you can share and ask your customer if it's valid enough to accept this technical file. I think that's for now. Ralph, do you want to add something?
We have one more question. Do you have a simple workflow for the system instead of the video online training? So we have some guides for file request. Saskia, just show it, right?
Yes, here you can, it's not a video, this is really which you can download, and you can put it on your screen, and all the steps are there. So if you work on 2 screens, you have your screen there, and the next step and the next step. I think that will be helpful, so you don't have to watch all the trainings. We also have a guide with a written instruction, which you can download or view via the compliance Productipedia. You can find them here, Productipedia, on the top right corner of your account. And there you can find all the instructions, the written instructions. So where can I download? Well, like here, prefer a download guide. Click here, there you can download it. So that's a very easy one. I think, and also here you can also find it, and you can download all, and you click there. So, and if you have more, you can't find it, or reach out, helpdesk@productip. We work hard on all the instructions. We update this, the system regularly. So we try to keep up the speed of the updates of the system. But in some cases, it's maybe an outdated screenshot, but the working of the system is still the same. So I think...
Perfect. So I think no more questions. We have 4 minutes left, so good timing. Like Saskia said, if you have any questions, contact your customers regarding requirements and the product. If you have questions regarding the platform, we use helpdesk@productip.com, and then we are here for helping.
Thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you.
And keep watching the event calendar, because we are trying to make more of these helpful videos for you, etc. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.